everyone, it's Leslie. Welcome back to my cross stitch channel. Today's video, it's all about my work in progress. So what I've been cross stitching for the past 2 weeks, I'm going to show you my progress, and I'm going to be showing you some clips from video clips from Stockholm. A lot of people ask me to show more of Stockholm, and I'm going to be doing that. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be showing you how I make how I cook my it's a soup that is very popular in Eastern European countries. It's called borscht. It's red colored, and I'm going to show you how I make it. I'm going to be making a vegan borscht. It's usually made with meat, but I'm going to be doing a vegan version of it. So it's going to be interesting. So stay tuned. So let's start. The first project I'm going to show you today, this is from a very old magazine, a Polish magazine that I bought when I was like a teenager or a kid many years ago. And I don't really have the whole magazine. I only have a couple of pages that I just laminated so they would not get damaged. And I don't even have the whole picture of what this project's gonna look like when it's finished, but this is half of it. It's like a basket with flowers, and if you see here, take a look here, this is the other part. If the basket is here, you see in the basket I showed you just now, and this is the other part of the project, and it's a big project. I don't even know how big it's gonna be. I haven't really measured it, but I'm gonna do it. But before I show you what this is gonna look, what I've been cross-stitching, I'm gonna show you what this project looked like the last time I showed it to you. So here's the picture. And this is what I've cross-stitched. I've cross-stitched this part here. It's not much, and there's not a lot of colors in this one. I think there's like 25 colors only, but this is so complicated because you have to change the colors so often, even though there's not a lot of them, but you have to change them all the time. And but there's no back stitching on here. There are absolutely no back stitching, and according to this, I have to cross stitch with half a cross stitch, but I didn't want to do it. I wanted to cross stitch a full cross stitch, have a full cross stitch, and I used the MC floss, and I am cross stitching on 14 count Ada fabric. And as I said to you, I don't know how big this is gonna be, but I'm gonna try to measure. I took a really big piece of Ada fabric, and I'm just gonna measure the fabric. Let me just get my... It's like 28.5 inches here, and here it's about, let me see, almost 22 inches. But here, the margins here are really big. I like to have big margins. It's almost like 10 No, sorry, that was centimeters. Almost like 4 inches. So I like to have good margins here. So it's going to be big. And if you look here, let me just get the other one. Oh, where is it? Sorry. Here on the picture here, I've cross-stitched this little bit here. Sorry, this little bit here, the flower here. You can see, let me just move it a little bit here so you can see. This flower here, it's right here. This part here. So I have a lot to go, maybe not that much, but still quite a bit to go to the end here. And then I'll know approximately how the measurement of this size. And if I continue cross stitching, because I've cross stitched on this side, where is it? Here, this part here is, oh sorry, I don't have a full picture. This part here is here. So if I continue here, then I'll know how big this is going to be. So here are all these roses. Here it's about here. So there's a lot to work on. And I am not, this is not a priority. This project is not a big priority for me. I am not going to finish it at the end of this year. I'm pretty sure of that. But sometimes I might get this one out and start cross-stitching it. Just a little piece by piece. And maybe in a couple of years I'll be done with it. And this one, if anyone of you speaks Polish, I think the magazine is called Moje Robotki. And this is based on some kind of European painting. Because I understand a little bit of Polish, just some couple of words. This is a bouquet of some kind of collection, European art. Something like that. Well, let me go just and get this out of the way, and I'll show you what I've been cross-stitching. This is by Design Works. These two colorful giraffes. This is 10 by 12 inches, cross-stitched on 14 count 8 of fabric. Before I show you what I've cross-stitched, I'm going to show you a picture of what this project looked like the last time I showed to you. So here's the picture. And this is what I've achieved. I've completed the neck of the giraffe, or the smaller giraffe. Here it is. And then I've done the ear, a little bit of the horns. I don't know if it's horns or not, if you call it horns, but it looks like horns. So I started them. And here, this is where the face of the giraffe is going to be. So it's still a lot of work here. So I'm going to do the face, continue doing the face, and I'm going to go up then. When I'm done with the face with the first giraffe, continue cross-stitching the neck of the second giraffe and the face. And hopefully this is going to be finished as soon as possible, because I want to finish this year. So we'll see how it goes. And the only problem I have here is that the preview is not really the same colors as what on my project. If I understand correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that this preview is cross-stitched with DMC floss, but the floss here is of some kind of different brand. It's not DMC, but I think the instruction does have the numbers for DMC floss. But as I said before, just look at this color here. It's very, very bright blue, whereas here is a very dark blue. Here's a very light rustic pink. Here's a very dark pink. So it's not the same, but I still like it. I mean, I enjoy every bit here. Cross stitch every bit here. Every color is very, very fun and playful and easy. I mean, and almost like a beginner could do this kit. I just don't have that much time to finish it. but it's quite easy. Well, moving on, next kit, or next project should I say. This is by Riolis. This is a dinosaur era of the era of the dinosaurs, it's called. And it's very colorful. It's more complicated than the giraffes. And before I show you what I've achieved, so I'll show you what this project looked like the last time I showed it to you. So here's the picture. As you can see here, I have cross-stitched the paw of the dinosaur, this one, the big one. And let me just put it like here, like this. And here's the paw with the claws. And here I've started, here's the back paw or leg. Here it is. And the front paw here, I start cross stitching it. You can't see it because of the leaves and the fern that's in the way. So I start, so 1, 2, 3, and the last back paw, this one, this one, this is going to be somewhere here. Not so much. I mean, it's not so complicated, but I would not recommend a beginner to start with this kit. But it's very fun. It's playful. There's not a lot of back stitching here, but the only thing that I don't like is that all these darker colors here, you have to use 3 strands of floss, and I prefer 2. And there are a couple of blends here. I don't really like blends either, but it's not a big deal. So I think I'm gonna be cross stitching a little bit like here, this part here, and then I really want to cross stitch here as well, this part. So I want to know the margins. I hope I have enough. This is almost a little bit too low for me. I prefer big margins, but we'll see. This is 14 count native fabric. It's Zweigart, and it's very soft, very easy to work with, one of my favorites. So moving on to the last kit. And this is a kit by Dimensions. It's their gold collection. It's called Cherry Blossom Creek. I just started it recently. And it's cross-stitched on pale blue 16 count fabric. And before I show you what I've cross-stitched, I'm going to show you what this project looked like the last time I showed it to you. So here's the picture. And here is what I've been cross-stitching. Let me just pull it up here. Last time I cross-stitched this part here. So I've done these stones that are above the water here. And the other stones here that are below the water. This part here is cross-stitched with half a cross-stitch. These stones are cross-stitched with a full cross-stitch. And here's blends of colors. And this water here, the green water here, it's cross-stitched with half a cross-stitch. And first I thought, well, it's half a cross-stitch, so I'm going to cross-stitch really fast. But no, because you have to cross-stitch here with 3 strands and 4 strands. It depends on the color, of course. 3 strands is okay to cross-stitch on 16 count fabric, but it's very hard with 4 strands on such a count, 16 count, because 4 strands is hard to get the needle and the floss through the fabric. I get a lot of knots, and it takes a lot of time, and it's not that enjoyable. So I would rather prefer to cross stitch with a full cross stitch and maybe 3 or 2 strands, but not 4. 4 is very difficult, but I'm still gonna continue cross stitching. So I'm thinking of cross stitching here, the water here, move up maybe, or go here to the side, cross stitch the path here and the beautiful flowers. I can't wait to get to this tree here, the cherry blossom. It's beautiful. I want to cross stitch, but these colors, they're so beautiful. Well, let me just put out all of everything that I've been cross stitching, and you can vote and let me know which one you like the most. Sorry, the big one probably gonna take over everything, but you know what it looks like. So let me know in the comment section what project you want me to continue cross stitching for the next 2 weeks. Maybe one of these, or maybe something else without being cross stitching. So vote in the comment section, and maybe, just maybe, I'll pick something that you like. So that was it for today, and I'm gonna show you now how I make my the soup, the Eastern European soup that is very popular in Eastern Europe, which is called borscht. And I thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already done that, because there's lots more to come, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a great weekend. Bye bye. Today I'm making a soup that is very, very popular in Eastern European cuisine. It's called borscht. It's like a red beet soup. And for the soup I'm going to be using cabbage. These are carrots, red beets, onions, garlic, potatoes. And usually this soup would require some kind of a meat. Usually folks there use meat, but because we're vegan, me and my husband are vegan, I'm going to be using red lentils, and I'm going to be using shiitake mushrooms. And for the spices, I have black pepper here, I have pink Himalayan salt, and I'm going to use these bay leaves. Okay, the soup is inside, and it's starting to boil. You can see all the ingredients are chopped up. And this is gonna sit on the stove with a low temperature for about an hour. Red Eastern European soup that is called borscht. This is what the borscht looks like. It's very savory, very tasty.